So Japan on Friday moved to increase controls on the export of a broad assortment of products to South Korea, dramatically raising the stakes in a political standoff that's plunged relations between the two countries to their lowest point in decades, and that's caused worries all over the world, including Washington. Now, we'll be listening to expert views from all around the world. Today, we begin with the impact on economic and supply chain. I have on the line Rajiv Biswas, Executive Director and Asia Pacific Chief Economist at IHS Markit in Singapore. Thank you and welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Now, first off, which industries, Rajiv, and items do you think will be hit the hardest from Japan's second round of export restrictions to South Korea? I mean, obviously, it's not limited to 3 items now. It's about roughly 1,100.
Yes, Japan's whitelist is very extensive and wide-ranging. So for South Korea, being removed from the whitelist means that Japanese companies exporting hundreds of technology products to South Korea will require export licensing approvals. And this includes many widely used technology products such as integrated circuits, capacitors, computers, robots, and also telecoms transmission equipment. So the potential disruption to many South Korean manufacturing industry segments, such as electronics and the auto sector, could be quite substantial if there are delays in the export licensing approval process by the Japanese government, and especially if the government rejects some export licensing requests.
Right, so even a rejection would be possible, you're saying. Rajiv, how do you forecast the ongoing Japan-South Korea trade road to affect not only the two economies, but the global value chain, if you will?
Well, South Korea is heavily reliant on imports of Japanese intermediate parts and materials for its manufacturing industry and has been a huge importer of Japanese products for decades. If this Japanese export licensing process creates severe disruptions to South Korea's manufacturing supply chain, this could create a negative shock to South Korea's economy and to other countries depending on Korean manufacturing exports. But in the medium term, the trade dispute could force South Korean companies to reconfigure their global supply chains to reduce their dependency on Japanese inputs and seek alternative supply sources, either from other countries or from within South Korea.
And as an Asia-Pacific chief economist, what's your short to midterm forecast and prescription?
I think this dispute has really escalated into a trade war. So this is very negative, not only for South Korea and Japan, but also for the Asia-Pacific region. Further escalation of the bilateral trade dispute does seem highly likely, with South Korea likely to introduce trade countermeasures. I think to diffuse this current trade confrontation and prevent further escalation, the only way forward must be to have high-level bilateral negotiations between Japan and South Korea with the objective of finding a compromise solution, both for bilateral trade to improve trade flows and also to improve the overall Asia-Pacific trade cooperation environment, given Japan and South Korea are two of the most important economies in the Asia-Pacific region and in the global economy.
All right, Rajiv Biswas, many thanks to you for today.
Thank you.